Hi guys, welcome back to Semco Painting and Decorating YouTube channel. Today's projects that I started, it's painting windows and doors. It's gonna be applying stain. The product is a Sequence from Sequence. The timber windows and doors are made of the cedar timber. That's very soft timber, and to do this timber you have to be very careful which sandpaper they use. On this timber I'm gonna use 240 grit sandpaper for the light sand, and after we do light sand, dust off everything and apply 1 quart of Sequence stain, and it's it's gonna be oil based Sequence stain. Stay tuned, don't go away. I've just finished sanding. I've used 240 grit sandpaper. I'm just gonna make a few points so you have this, and you can check yourself out every time you do this kind of work. 240 grit sandpaper is a must. When you're sanding, sand down the grain of the timber. Don't go against the grain. Reason why, if you go against the grain, you're gonna see it when you stain it. So you have to go down, follow the grain of the timber. That's the grain of timber going this way. You follow it when you're sanding that way. So very important, guys. And when you're staining, try to apply as much stain, heavy, and then all the excess stain you just wipe it off with the rag. So everything's gonna be the same. You don't have to be afraid you're gonna have more stain here or more less stain there. So apply it generously and then wipe it off with the rag, and it's all gonna come up very nice. So when the sanding as well, don't press too much, otherwise you're gonna damage the cedar because it's a very soft timber. And try not to leave a dust on a timber before you start coating it. You have to dust it off very well. So take out all the dust from all the corners of the windows or doors. You have to do that, otherwise it's not gonna look good after you finish with the staining. So guys, I'm gonna go very quickly what brushes I'm using for this project, because we're doing staining. I'm using this like a triangle shaped brush from Monarch for cutting in the timbers in between the glass and the frame, because it's very nice brush to do that, and it does job way quicker than a wider brush. Of course I'm using 60mm Unipro brush for wider surfaces to lay it off, and I'm using small microfiber roller to apply stain on the timber, and then of course I do wipe it off with the lay it off with the brush, and then I have a rag ready for all the excess stains afterwards to wipe it off. The product is a Sequence oil-based stain. It's one of the best stains for the external windows and doors on cedar. So this is it. So when I'm doing windows and doors like this, where I have windows and doors all together in one frame, I'm gonna start from the top of the frame, sides, bottom, and on inside. So I'm gonna start from outside to inside. So here we go.
you can see, I painted all the frames from outside in. That will be the window. So now I'm gonna leave it like this. As you could have seen, I put a very heavy stain on it for timber to soak it in. And once that happen, I'm gonna go with the rag and wipe all the excess stain, so the finish gonna look everywhere the same with no heavy buildup on this of the stain. As you can see, I just painted one door, and it's very quick using this small brush that's got like a triangle look like. It's a very good brush for this kind of things, and it's got really good bristles. Again, this is a different approach. Now I'm starting from outside in, and while I'm doing that, as you can see, I'm using a big brush to cut in the next to the glass. But the first door I've done it with a small triangle brush. But it can be done like this as well. This is for more advanced people with the brush. The first one is more like for the people who are doing it for the first time. Use a smaller brush, but the smaller brush I use all in between the glass, because it's really good and quick. Use a roller, apply stain like that. A lot of people don't like these doors because of the cutting in. It's time consuming, but as you can see, when you use the right tools, that's not an issue. It flies. I mentioned at the beginning not after, like halfway through, I mentioned that I'm gonna use a rag and wipe off all the excess stain, but still I don't want to hit the glass too much. I'm trying not to, because it's gonna be a lot easier for me to clean it later on. So if you can, try not to hit the glass too much. That's another door done. We leave it to drink all the stain. Now gonna do window. So now I'm gonna use a rag and wipe off all the excess stain. Gonna start from where we started in the first place. So we're gonna wipe off all the frame first. As you can see, that's the excess stain. It's sort of dripping down. So here you go. When you do around the windows, make sure your rag is clean. Okay guys, that is it. When you're wiping off the stain, make sure you frequently change the clean rags, especially around the windows, so you don't leave any smudges on the windows. So that will be it for this time, guys. It's pretty much straightforward. If you just follow the steps that I've just explained, you'll be pretty much very capable of doing this or similar jobs when it comes to staining. Just be careful when you're washing or wiping off the stain from the timber. Wipe it off equally and wipe off all the excess stain, so the coverage is exactly the same everywhere. You don't have spots where they have more stain and spots that has got less stain than it's supposed to be. So just be aware of that. Apart from that, till next time, like our videos, subscribe and share, so we keep doing these videos and show you all the stuff we know. Cheers.